can't have anal sex, then I don't love him. Whoa. Assalamu alaikum. Another episode of Ask SQ. You ask, I respond. That's how this thing goes. And today, we have another juicy question to answer. But before we get over there, if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. We speak about a lot of topics that are taboo, and they also serve as an Iman booster. So let's get into this question. In my past, I had contact with a lot of boys on Instagram. At this time, I wasn't a Muslim. I think what they mean by that, just because you don't know the context of this, is that they weren't someone who was practicing Islam. My first boyfriend I had was when I was 13. He was bad to me. He said, we can't have anal sex, then I don't love him. Whoa. I want to pause right here. A lot of times tactics young men and boys and guys use is that they emotionally trap you in where they tell you that if you don't do such and such thing, then that means you don't love me. If you don't sleep with me right now, if you don't send me nude pictures, if you don't send me pictures without your hijab, if you don't have sex with me, if you don't show me your body, that means you don't love me. You don't want love like that. You don't want conditional love like that. That person's a manipulator. People like this are designed to just manipulate you to get whatever they want. They trap you emotionally. They trap you with love and affection, and then they manipulate you to get whatever they would like to do. So people like this are no good. People who make conditions in love that you do this, I do this, that's a business, that's exchange. You need to stay away from people like this. So my first piece of advice is for anyone out there watching, if you have someone who is giving you conditional love where you're exchanging things and you notice they ignore you or they stop talking to you when they're doing that, they're just manipulating you. They really don't care about you and they're just using you for their own pleasure. My life was dependent on him and I did not want to lose him. And guess what? He knew this. He knew this. He understands that you love him so much, you care about him so much that you won't want to lose him, so he got you right where he wants you. So I forced myself, at least you're acknowledging that it was you. At least you're acknowledging it was you and that no one made you do anything. Shout out to you. May Allah bless you. Thank you for that. I forced myself to let him do this to me. It happened not one time. More times he had done it with me. He didn't care that I didn't want to do it. I was really stupid. For a long time I was depressed and I regretted the sin. You know, one of the biggest signs of Iman is the fact that you are able to regret a sin. So if Allah has given you that flicker of Iman in your heart and where you regret doing a sin, mashallah, that's the part of the process of tawbah. That's a part of the process of drawing closest to Allah. So shout out to you for regretting that sin. Good for you. I'm proud of you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and keep you on that straight path. You just want to make sure that regret is not turning into despair. Because despair is when you lose hope and faith in the mercy of Allah that Allah will never forgive you. That's despair. And it scares me to see that it seems like you're going down this path. After him, I had a boyfriend when I was 14. Can I just say that you're super young? Can I just say this, that you're way too young to be diving into these things. You're way too young to be, wasting your time on boys and thinking about relationships. You have your whole life ahead of you, alhamdulillah. Why are you wasting and spending your time on people who won't matter? Why are you spending more than 10 minutes thinking about people who won't be with you for the next 10 years of your life? Don't waste your time on this. So many teenagers are getting into relationships at such a young and early age that they're wasting their youth on things that don't matter, on people that don't matter. Don't waste your time. We met only 2 times because we live far away from each other, alhamdulillah. Sometimes that's a mercy from Allah. The fact that you're not near someone is a mercy from Allah because that's preventing you from doing so many haram things. May Allah bless you for that. That's such a blessing from Allah. I loved him so much. Once again, I feel like you're falling in love way too quick, way too early, and just with anyone. You're like longing for love. You're like, I don't want to say desperate because that has a negative connotation, but you're really desperate and thirsty for love. There's a void in your life. There's clearly a void in your life, and I want you to start thinking to yourself, where is that void? Is your father not in your life? The love that a father gives to his daughter, even if they're in their life, if they're not showing their daughters love and appreciation, they're going to develop a void for love and appreciation in their life. If you're not reminding your daughters, or if you have sisters that they're beautiful and you're not telling them that they are beautiful, they're going to find someone who does. And there's people out there, predators out there, wolves that are out there who are waiting to pounce on people people because they know how many daddy issues people have. So if you have a daughter, make sure that you tell her she's beautiful. If you have a sister, make sure that you tell her that she is beautiful if the father is not telling her that. Because if she hears it for the first time from someone else, she's going to go towards them. And that's the entry point for using and abusing people. He accepted my sins, but every day he would talk about that one sin that I committed, which was zina. No one should accept your sins because no one should know about your sins. Your sins are between you and Allah. It's as simple as that. No one has the right to know about your sins, nor should you be sharing or telling someone about the sins. You know, people ask this question, SQ, should I tell people about my past? Absolutely not. My past is sort of visual, so you can probably see it. I haven't told my wife about all the women I've been with because that's none of our business. That's something that we shouldn't have to worry about. When you marry someone, they need to accept you for who you are today, not worry about who you once were yesterday. Yesterday made you into who you are today. So if someone's pressurizing you to tell you and share your sins in your past, excuse yourself on that conversation. And if they truly love you, they'll understand when you tell them that this is between me and Allah, I've made tawbah, I've already sorted this out between me and Allah, I don't want to share this with you. If someone has a problem with that and they force you and they're pushing you and they're like, come on, tell me, excuse yourself from them. Wallahi, they don't respect your religious beliefs. Because of that, he broke up with me, and for other reasons since then I've been longing for love. So now because of that sin that he found out about, he broke up with you. One, let me tell you something, this person is probably not good for you anyways. If a person can accept you for who you are today, and if they don't have the courage and the stamina to accept who you once were, they're probably not spouse material as of yet. So alhamdulillah, they're not in your life, because someone like that cannot support you emotionally, which you clearly need. I thought I'd marry him, I thought he'd be my future husband, but guess what, he ain't. Get over it. I'm only 15 and I regret my sins. I did zina and now I'm afraid no one will marry me. One, no one has to know about these things, so I already told you don't need to be sharing your sins. Number two, you're only 15 years old. Your brain and your mind shouldn't even be over there. You need to be focusing on your spirituality, your relationship with Allah, your career, your studies, your profession, what you want to be when you grow up. But you're only 15 years old. Your mind shouldn't be going in this direction. You need to not only forget about the sin that you've committed, seek tawbah with Allah, but start a fresh chapter in your life. Don't worry about this person anymore. Forget this person, forget finding a person. Go on your own path. Don't try to seek other people's path. Go on a religious path where you seek the forgiveness of Allah, seek the pleasure of Allah, and Allah is going to bring someone and draw someone to your path. Don't worry about going to someone else's path. Worry about making your own path. Don't worry about making someone else's path. Focus on yourself. You have a whole long life to live, inshallah, but don't worry stressing yourself about these things that don't even matter. That was my advice, inshallah. I want you to drop your advice and feedback below. What would you advise this sister if they DM'd you? What would you tell them? And if you don't have any advice for this sister, put a smile on their face. Give them a message of hope. Give them a message of mercy. Do something where they feel like there is hope, but put a smile on their face. Give them hope, inshallah, that everything is going to be okay. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you follow me on all of my social media right here, Way of Life SQ. If you would like for your question to be featured on the show, DM me with the tag AskSQ. You ask, I respond. That's how this thing goes. Jazakallah khair for watching. Until next time, I'm out.